Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching the news at 10 live on Channels Television. A reminder of our top stories. People's Democratic Party leaders protest to the Independent National Electoral Commission and the police headquarters over Osun governorship election as police authorities invite leaders of the protest to its headquarters next Monday to explain their roles in the protest. All Progressives Congress National Working Committee clears Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Dapo Abiodun, Toyin Cole and 21 others for the 2019 governorship election. PDP's 2015 governorship candidate Jimmy Agbaje again wins the party's ticket for the 2019 election, beating his only rival, Adedeji Doherty, in a keenly contested race. And U.S. Senate advances President Donald Trump's Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh's nomination to a final vote. ChannelsTV.com has more information for you, and on YouTube.com/channelsweb you can watch our videos. You can also watch us on your mobile device via your browser or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. Besides giving you access to news updates on the go, the Channels TV and Channels 24 app have an eyewitness feature that you can use to share pictures, videos and news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu and follow the instructions. The National Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress has dissolved the executives of the party at all levels in Zamfara State. But the Convention Committee of the party is reaffirming its commitment to hold a peaceful special presidential convention in Abuja with 7,000 delegates from across the Federation. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, the deputy chairman of the committee and governor of Borno State, Mr. Kashim Shettima, explains that the party is working towards resolving all issues arising from the primaries in order to present a formidable team at the general election. Mr. Shettima gives delegates the assurance of adequate security before, during, and after the convention, as he declares that everything has been put in place to ensure a hitch-free special convention.
Despite some of the problems we have encountered during the primaries in our various states, the National Working Committee of the party is working assiduously to resolve all the issues. This is a family quarrel, and we are going to sort things out amicably. And we are expecting to host about 7,000 delegates from across the length and breadth of our great country. And all necessary arrangements are in place to ensure a smooth convention. And the convention, ladies and gentlemen, will commence by 2 p.m. tomorrow at the Eagle Square. The Transport Committee is making announcements to reduce to the barest minimum inconveniences we might cause to Abuja residents.
Meanwhile, the stage seems set for the conduct of the PDP National Convention at the Adokie Amasiemeka Stadium in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. The chairman of the National Convention Planning Committee and governor of Delta State, Ifeanyi Okowa, led other members of the committee and other party members on a last-minute inspection of the arena that is already being decorated in the party's colors. Governor Okowa believes the convention will turn out to be a fine outing. 12 presidential aspirants are expected to slug it out tomorrow for the party's ticket for the 2019 elections.
We're good. We're expecting you to be here with us. We're expecting a very wonderful convention, and we pray that God will choose whoever He wants through the votes of the people coming. But for us, we're working very hard to deliver a credible process that is free and fair, transparent, and to the satisfaction and admiration of all.
The former managing director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Mr. Timi Alaibe, has been formally received back into the People's Democratic Party. Mr. Alaibe and his supporters were received into the PDP fold by the governor of Bayelsa State, Seriake Dixon, who said their departure from the All Progressives Congress has signaled an end for the APC in the state. Governor Dixon says the return of Chief Alaibe into the PDP will make the party stronger and better poised for victory in the upcoming elections.
We were pained when you and all of you left at a time and at an hour that we needed you people most. We needed ourselves most. But all of that is now history. What is important is what is ahead of us, not what has gone by. And I just want to assure you all that you are all valued leaders of our party once again. You will all be integrated fully into the structures of our party.
On his part, Chief Alaibe describes his reasons for initially leaving the PDP as being born out of political expediency.
I have decided to be back to the PDP in my state with my seeming followership to strengthen the PDP and support the work we are doing. Whatever the APC becomes in Bayelsa State is better imagined. And you know that we have that grand support. And with this, the teaming supporters that the PDP had maintained, added to what we are coming with, I don't know where the APC will be in Bayelsa State.
Away from politics, as Nigeria joins the rest of the world to observe the World Teachers' Day, the federal government has promised to improve teacher education through continuous professional development. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, laments the acute shortage of trained and qualified teachers as he pledges the determination of the federal government to address the situation. He restates the commitment of the federal government to ensure that untrained and unqualified teachers are flushed out of the system by next year.
From across the 36 states of the Federation and the nation's capital, teachers converge on Abuja to observe the 2018 World Teachers' Day. The event begins with a colorful march past by teachers. Shortly after the march, the Secretary to the State Government takes to the podium as he announces government's commitment to improve teacher education.
The federal government of Nigeria is still committed to the cause of the teaching profession, and frantic efforts are being made to improve teacher education for skills acquisition through teachers' continuous professional development. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to remind you all that our children are the pillars of our strength. They will be the drivers of our economic growth and will have to work relentlessly to sustain the welfare of our nation.
The Minister of Education used the occasion to highlight the plans of the ministry to develop teachers, while the National President of the Nigerian Union of Teachers reiterates the need for a review of the retirement age of teachers, including the massive recruitment of teachers.
The goals of our strategy for teacher education include the provision for regular updating of the 29 NCE curricula on education, enhancement of the status of teaching profession by making it attractive to the best brains in the system.
Teachers of primary and secondary school in the country have over the years demanded for their retirement age to be reviewed from 60 years to 65 years, and the service period of 35 to 40 years.
Statistics from UNESCO estimate that the population of out-of-school children in the world is 264 million, out of which about 60 million are in the sub-Saharan Africa, with over 10 million of such children in Nigeria.
Going to toss it over now to Gloria Amezoke in Abuja for more on the news at 10. Hi, Gloria. How are you doing?
Hello, Amarachi. The National Judicial Council has recommended Justice Uwani Abaji to President Muhammadu Buhari for appointment into the Supreme Court. The council, headed by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Mr. Walter Onnoghen, also recommended to the governors of Abia, Benue and Ogun states successful candidates for appointment as chief judges of the state's high courts. A statement from the council names the chief judge nominees as Justice Unoha Ogwe for Abia State, Justice Andava Kakan for Benue State, and Justice Musumola Dikpeolu for Ogun State. Justice Enieson was also recommended for appointment as the president of the Oyo State Customary Court of Appeal. 3 other judges were recommended for appointment into the Ogun State High Court and 1 Kadi for the Kwara State Sharia Court of Appeal. According to the statement, newly appointed candidates will be sworn in after approval from President Muhammadu Buhari for the Supreme Court judge and the governors of other nominee states. Well, Justice Chukwuechukwu Aneke of the Federal High Court in Lagos has ordered the release of the passport of the senator representing Delta North, Peter Nwabushi, to enable him embark on a trip to Indonesia. Senator Nwabushi was rearranged before Justice Aneke, who took over the case from Justice Muhammad Idris after he was elevated to the Court of Appeal in June. The federal lawmaker was charged alongside 2 companies, Golden Touch Construction Projects Limited and Sumin Electricals Limited, for an alleged fraud of 322 million naira by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The accused persons pleaded not guilty when the charges were read to them. The accused persons, the defense counsel, Mr. Emmanuel Kachukwu, asked the judge to order the release of Nwabushi's passport to enable him travel to Indonesia in October and return October 19, 2018. Justice Aneke granted the counsel's prayer and said the passport should be returned to the court's registrar by October 23. He adjourned further proceedings in the case till October 25. Well, staying on legal matters, a 5th prosecution witness has been called forward to testify in the ongoing trial of suspected kidnap kingpin Chukwudumemu Onwamadike, popularly known as Evans. The witness, Mr. Izuchukwu Ezuko, who gave evidence before an Igboshere High Court in Lagos, narrated how he traveled to the eastern part of the country to pay a $1 million ransom in 2 tranches to the kidnappers of his employer, Mr. James Uduji. Well, Mr. Izuko, who was led in by the Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice, Lagos State, Mr. Adeniji Kazeem, explains that some weeks after the alleged kidnap on October the 10th, 2015, he got a call from a private number requesting him to speak with his boss. The witness told the court that his employer instructed him to source for $800,000 from his brother, one Mr. Edwin Uduji, and deliver same to the kidnappers in the eastern part of the country. Mr. Izuko narrated how he and the victim's sister drove from Lagos to Anambra State, where they were instructed by the kidnappers to drop off the ransom money in an uncompleted building. 2 weeks after payment of that ransom, the victim, Mr. Uduji, was released. During cross-examination, the witness told the defense counsel, Mr. Olarinwaju Ajanaku, that he did not inform the police of the ransom payments and his interactions with the alleged kidnappers. The trial judge, Justice Adedayo Akintoye, has adjourned the case until Monday, October the 8th, for continuation of hearing. Evans is currently facing 2 separate charges of conspiracy, kidnapping, and attempted murder. When the News at 10 returns, Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo launches Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Initiative in Kaduna State, pledges federal government support for MSMEs. That's after the break. Please join us again.